Welcome to the Suck It, Fill My Bucket Show podcast. I'm Christina Reynolds, and I am mom's partner in her life's enhancement. I liberate moms from the belief that they must put their wellness, needs, and desires on the back burner until their kids are grown. It's about getting rebellious from those beliefs and getting moms to say suck it to the tasks that can wait and mindsets that don't serve her in order to fill up her bucket. So, join us in this movement and let's get busy building your life by intention. Welcome to this.
Hey, y'all! I'm still figuring this system out, so thank you for your patience. Welcome to episode 3 of the Suck It, Fill My Bucket Show podcast. For those of you who are first-time listeners or with me hanging live, thank you so much for your grace as I figure out what the heck I'm doing here. But hey, I lead by example, and I'm a firm believer that done is better than perfect. So every step forward is a step in the right direction, even if it's a tiny NICU baby step, and there's hiccups along the way. It all adds up. So today we are going to chat about your life's design, and it's actually going to be a quick one this week because it's just me, and I value your time as a busy mom. I know how it goes. So throughout our short time here today, I'll be offering you opportunities to lovingly and without judgment witness where you are at with a few focal points that we're going to talk about to create clarity and allow your actions to pivot you to abundance and happiness and wellness and all that good stuff that we all dream about and that we all ideally want, right? This has seriously been monumental for my journey and my intentional motherhood. And really, I believe in paying it forward and showing others what I've learned so far. So if you find this valuable, go ahead and click the like button at any time throughout this broadcast, and always invite and share your friends. So before we hop right into the content, a super quick intro about me and the show. I am Christina Reynolds, and I am the host of this show. I'm also a wife and a mom of 4 kids, a CNA to my medically complex toddler, and I'm also a creator and a founder and an inspiring author and speaker and partner in Momlife enhancement. So I'll get into my story a little bit more later, but that's just a super quick intro into me. As far as the show goes, the show itself was created as to serve as like a nurturing ground for all the moms and all the various groups and places on different social platforms at 1 or 2 central locations. And I wanted to be able to offer my thoughts and my expertise and my experiences, as well as pull in and interview experts in various areas of wellness and mental health during motherhood. Can y'all give me just 1 second? There we go. Okay. So this has been on my bucket list for quite some time, but really I'm a firm believer in waiting until it's the right time, right? So I've been nurturing moms in communities, and now my spirit is like, it's time to get louder for this message because I'm seeing too many moms that I'm engaging with on a daily basis that are exhausted and sick and burnt out, and they see no way out, and they honestly believe that the desires and needs of their kids come first and that they need to be put on the back burner day after day and week after week, year after year. All that time adds up, right? Now, the name of the show was birthed from me getting pissed about a mom that I was talking to that was deeply struggling. And I wasn't mad at her. I was upset about the lack of support that she was receiving and how she didn't have strategies or systems in place to nurture her. You know, the mom that's running around pouring from an empty bucket. We needed some strategies for her. And I just thought, this mom needs to say, suck it to the tasks and the mindsets that are just not serving her in order to fill up her own bucket so she has more to pour out. The name of the show is often misunderstood, but I think that the message is spot on. And as you'll soon learn from me, I'm all about speaking an authentic message that I believe will serve. So as we jump in to the topic at hand today, I wanted to share a little known fact about me. Okay, I recently quit watching TV. I've literally never set this intention before to take a TV detox, but I did it in September. I loved it so much that I have just continued with it. But before I gave up TV, I was a huge fan of the show Survivor, where people of all walks of life and social statuses come together in a remote location to outwit, outlast, and outplay each other in the hopes of winning $1 million. I finished the season and I can't wait to get started on the next. I used to watch the reunion shows. I would laugh, I would cry. I seriously even contemplated becoming a contestant on this game of Survivor, okay? Now, I liked everything about the game, from the physical and the mental challenges in the actual arenas to the social challenges back at camp. So the strategies and the sociology just really kept drawing me back in season after season. Tell me if you can relate. Now, what's interesting to me is that everyone played a different social game, but it often mirrored how people played in the game of life. Some people came in ready to make an alliance with everyone, knowing full well that their strategy was to lie, cheat, backstab, and blindside their alliances to get to the final 2 or 3 members that were still standing, hoping that at the end, the people that they backstab would recognize that they were just playing a game and doing what was best for them and would say, well played, and would put their name down to win the $1 million. Now, some people came in with the intention of being true to their beliefs and their values. They made true alliances that they never betrayed. They had, hope that the faith in their alliances would carry them to the end, where they could plead to the jury of their peers what a strong and honest and strategic game they played in hopes of being granted the $1 million, of course, right? So some people also came in thinking that it would be everything they dreamed and saw it was on TV, but then the harsh awakening of the journey that they were on just smacked them right in the face, and they just straight up quit the game. So there was 100 ways that I've seen, people approach and play this season, each season of the game with a different strategy. And it feels like each season got the winner to the end with a different strategy. So a few things I noticed, though, that were common threads for all the winners. First thing is that they both had allies and people that wanted them to fail. So allies and people that wanted them to fail. Second, when they knew that somebody was gunning for them to kick them out of the tribe, they secured their alliance and they won or got immunity somehow in order to stay in the game. They hustled until their position was secure. Now, I know this is just a reality TV show I'm going on and on about, but comparisons can be made and still drawn for how I'm showing up for my life, right? And you can ask yourself these same questions. Am I at the top of my game, ready and willing to take on anything that life throws at me, any challenges that come my way, whatever difficult people are placed in my path? Am I ready? Do I have a strong alliance of people that have my back? Do I have enough food for my mind and my body and my soul, or resources to be immune from illness or have high stress resilience? Have I found immunity from others that are trying to put out my flame? Think about that one for a second. And most importantly, what am I playing for? What reward do I seek? And what is my strategy to win? Now, these are questions that I've come to regularly ask myself in order to stay focused on the mission here on earth as a wife and a mom and a servant of hope and love, realistically. So what are the answers? Well, I'm going to tell you mine as well as show you how you can find those answers for yourself with a few steps and focus points. So I think the answers to these questions can be found within 3 different focal points. And we can use these focus points as tools to magnify and meditate on to create action step for success. Okay. So focal point number 1, identity. What is your identity based in? Now, to clarify this question, I'm going to use the game of Survivor again as an example. Okay. Now, the winner of season, I think it's 28. He was a cop from Jersey. His strengths were reading people, asserting his power and influence, and working hard until the job was done. He came there not to like find himself or be a light, but his entire purpose was to win the $1 million, however he had to do it. Okay. He chose to lie about his profession because he didn't know who in the tribe disliked cops, and he didn't want to be, voted off right away. He swore allegiances on his badge, on his mom, on his wife, on his baby, on dead people's graves, and then he blindsided those people. He could even be quoted saying, "I came here to win. I came here to drag other people's dreams through the mud so that I could achieve mine." Woo! Okay, so he played a strategically strong game as well as worked his butt off to find 3 different immunity idols that kept him safe from votes. Now, this is not a review of Survivor. I'm going to tie it in, okay? Now, on the polar opposite end was a man that he was in the top 2 against. He was a yoga instructor and was super honorable in the way he played his game. He didn't lie, cheat, steal, but he made good alliances and he won immunity challenges, and his hard work at camp and ability to relate well with others made him a close call for the winner. Okay, back to our focus point number 1. Your identity. Both of these gentlemen had a strategy for the game based on their values, their beliefs, their mindsets, and how they wanted to be known in Survivor history for how they played the game. Wu was the honorable man. He was happy to lose if it meant that he didn't have to sacrifice his values in order to win. Now, the cop, Tony, he was willing to win at all costs short of murder. Like, I think murder was probably his only boundary morally. When it comes to your identity, taking inventory occasionally on paper can be really helpful in finding clarity about what you stand for, what your boundaries and your non-negotiables are, and where you draw your power from. Creating a mission statement for yourself and your life and your position can help as well. And creating mantras that can help you when you're feeling weak and bombarded, those are often really valuable. Now, they can help you because they build you an ally within yourself, which helps keep you safe when trouble strikes and when everyone around you is being crazy. You can still hold to the tools and the strategies to get you through those challenges. So this step is often overlooked, I'm going to say, because people don't want to do the work of trying to figure out exactly who they are and then creating that narrative for yourself. I am statements, if you will, right? It feels lame. Okay, well, when we were living in the NICU with our youngest son, we were there for 500 days, and I adopted this practice. Every time I felt like I was a failure for not being able to be everywhere and do all the things, respond with everyone to love and patience all the time, I wouldn't beat myself up because I had a narrative that reminded myself like who I am and what I stand for, okay? So when you're clear about your identity, then most of your decisions are made for you. Your next steps are just automatically clear. Does that make sense? So focus point number 2 is what you believe. Now, what you believe about yourself and others and the world around you matters because your beliefs turn to thoughts. Your thoughts turn to words and to actions and to reactions. So it all stems from those beliefs, right? If you're wandering around unsure of what you believe in, then you have what Bill Burnett from the design lab at Stanford calls a design gravity problem. And it's a problem that is holding you down, and you have to address that elephant in the room if you want to move forward with a life of success. What we believe helps us find immunity when others are putting us down, either purposely or unintentionally due to their own issues or ego or their children, But if what we believe, and if part of that is that we're destined to win, then our actions are going to follow. And even with little food and little sleep, we can find the extraordinary effort that is needed to have that unwavering faith. Hal Elrod, he's one of my favorite speakers, and he's also the author of Miracle Morning and Miracle Equation. He says you need just two things for success in overcoming any diagnosis or circumstance or anything like that. Number one, you need unwavering faith in yourself, your message, and your higher power. And number two, you need to have the ability to put forth extraordinary effort until the job is done or the goal is achieved. I'm paraphrasing, okay? So mindset is really crucial, in the game of life and in the game of Survivor, because our actions and our reactions and our words always follow what it is that we believe unless we're acting. So recognizing and naming your gravity problems and belief hiccups is a really smart way to figure out where exactly you're at. Remember that just because you believe something doesn't mean that it's true, right? It limits your ability to thrive. It's called a dysfunctional belief, technically. Don't blame me. I didn't name it. So also remember that just because something has always been true doesn't mean it's going to be true in the future. Like, think that one through. So if you strive to operate not in history and memory of what happened before, but in vision and imagination for your future, then score. Your possibilities are endless. Okay, last nugget on belief. Anyone who has achieved success in anything has always failed first, right? Always. They just kept going. So really, that's our key. We just keep going. All right, focus point number 3, actions. When you know who you are, what you believe, then you can make informed, calculated actions. Back to Survivor for the last time. Wu, the honorable contestant, he believed that he could live and play authentically and honorably because that was his identity. And he believed that his sacrifices and his alliances and his love for people would be actions that spoke loudly enough for themselves, right? His strategy was clear before him, and the decisions were already made for him when they came up. Did he stab someone in the back when he was given a chance? No, it went against who he was. And therefore, his actions were clear before him when he was approached. Design thinking is an innovative methodology, and it's used in the School of Engineering. It's based on the idea that our life is a design problem. And when you connect who you are with what you believe, with what you do, you experience your life as meaningful. And at the Life Design Lab at Stanford, they call this connecting the dots, okay? If you need an exercise for how to configure and connect these dots for yourself, or you want me to go deeper on this, you can either go to my website, I'll throw that up on the screen, and you just scroll down to Momlife Design Freebie. Or you could also join my Inner Circle clan, and we have the speakers in speeches in our Ultimate Resource Library. We have prompts to dig a bit deeper to create action and clarity around what it is that you want to do in your motherhood journey. So the link is on the screen, is also in the descriptions and in the comments, depending on where you view this. So feel free to take a screenshot. So guys, to recap, I told you this was going to be short. To recap, I'm addicted to Survivor. No, I'm just kidding. But I did share what lessons I think can be drawn from watching how people interact and engage with each other. It has been proven that when you connect those dots, who you are, with what you believe, with the actions that you take, you will experience your life as meaningful. So I gave you some links to be able to get some freebies and to be able to deep dive a bit deeper about this. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Do we have any questions? While I'm letting my voice recover, I'm going to check our comments here. We have a few. Whew. Okay, I will come back and chat with y'all. I'm going to see if you have any questions that I can address live. We have a listener that's saying, this week I just keep reminding myself that the storm will pass. Baby will feel better, and so will the toddler, and I will kick the yuck that has been passed on to me. Yes, that's the key right there. And it sounds like you've been listening to me for a hot second, because that's what I always preach. When you have a bad day, that's what I tell you, right? Like, yeah, this sucks. I'm sending you love and a hug and some energetic, positive, healing vibes. And what can I do for you realistically? But keep in mind that this too is going to pass. Like, that also kept me sane during our extended hospital stay with our baby. It was such a long journey. And I remember multiple times just repeating over and over to myself, like trying to calm the panic. This too will pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. As a reminder that if anything in the world is sure, if everything else is so confusing and nothing makes sense and you don't even know what you believe or who you are, you're like, this is great, Christina, but I don't know. I'm too busy to think about who I am or what I want to do. I get that. Find the exercises and the freebies, because those can break it down into really tiny blocks for you so that you can just take a few minutes here and there to be able to implement things. NICU baby steps, I call it, right? Because with baby steps, you celebrate the small things. But with NICU baby steps, you celebrate the tiny things. Like with NICU babies, you celebrate when they poop and you celebrate when they hold their own body temperature. And so same thing can be said. I'm not used to having a mic in front of me. I got a mic because the audio, if you just listen to the audio clips of my last 2 episodes, it's a struggle to listen to. There's and all sorts of things. And so I found this handy dandy thing, except I keep hitting it. So I'm going to have to hope that it's not making loud booms to you all. So circling back to that point of this too is going to pass. If everything else is crazy, I can be sure that time is passing. Well, I mean, maybe not sure, there is always, well, I won't get into that. But if we can be sure of anything, it's that time is passing. This day is going to be gone and a new day will be here. And those days are all going to add up. Day after day after day adds up to week after week. And so when you hear people say, or maybe you've said it, where does the time go? Where? Oh man, my kid is already in high school. Where did the time go? Oh, my kid is starting in elementary school. Where did the time go? We say it all the time. And it's because it's the only thing that is really fleeting, So that is a crazy thing, but it can also be a beautiful thing if you allow it. So I am not seeing any questions, but I will tell you that I will come back and connect with your comments. So if you're catching this on the replay also, that still stands. I come back often and check comments, and I like to hear what's working for you and what's not working for you, what areas you need me to create content in and serve you more. So really feel free to comment. If you like and share this, it sends a strong message to the platform that you're viewing it on that you like it and they should promote it to more moms. So feel free to, if you haven't yet, click that like button and that subscribe button so that you get notifications if you are listening on a podcast platform or YouTube. Feel free to do that. If you are live streaming, I'm live streaming straight to Facebook groups right now, multiple groups. I love that I get to chat with all of you at one time. It's so beautiful. If I'm live streaming with you, feel free to, drop me some love, comment, let me know that you caught this. And again, it sends a message to the platform that you like what I'm putting out for you. So since it doesn't look like we have any questions at this moment, again, I'll come back and check again to connect with you. And you have my website. Thank you. Thank you for being my first listeners. And tune in next week. We have a really exciting guest speaker and expert in energy healing, certified in multiple different programs and modalities. She is super cosmic to chat with and so much fun. You never know what's going to fly out of our mouths when we're talking. She has an incredible story. She was homebound with MS for like 7 years. And she made a decision, a very powerful decision. And she teaches other women how to make a power decision and pivot to abundance and wellness. It's so beautiful. You'll be blessed by attendance, and we may even have a downloadable gift for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. And with love as my guide, I will see you next time.
Thank you so much for absorbing this today. And before you go, one more thing. If you can't tell, I'm on a mission to create a ripple impact in the world, starting with each mom at home, helping her thrive her life her way. If this podcast resonated with you, please leave a review. Make sure you subscribe and share it with your friends. If you're interested in working with me, book a soul chat with me in the show notes, or head over to my website at www.therippleimpact.net. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. With love as my guide, I'll see you next time.